Bonjour. In this lesson we're going to look at three things: partitive articles, quantities, and negations. Let's look with the partitive articles. Partitive has the word part in it, and that is a hint to you that you use the partitive articles when you want to express some. For instance, some water. Yeah? In the singular, the forms are for the masculine du or de L apostrophe followed by a vowel or a mute H, and in the feminine de la or de L apostrophe for the same reason, a word that begins with a vowel or a mute H. For instance, if you say some milk, du lait, some water, de l'eau. Use these partitives with non-countables. Okay? Here are some more. For instance, see the difference between je mange le gâteau et je mange du gâteau. I eat the cake, I eat some cake. Yeah? In the first case, you eat the whole cake. Yeah? In the second case, you only eat a piece of the cake. All right? In a negative construction, something interesting happens. Je ne mange pas de tarte. I do not eat any pie. All right? What has happened to the partitive in a negative construction is that the article has disappeared. The part of the article has disappeared. Now, instead of having du as you had here, you have de, for instance. Or de la would also become de. All right? So anytime you have a partitive in a negative construction, ne, pas, de. No article expressed. Okay? But if you use the verb to be, that rule does not apply. See, if I'm saying ce n'est pas du pain, this is not bread, well, I can still use the partitive du. Du, which is a combination of de and le. You never find de and le together in French. They're always du. Let's look at quantities now. Quantities can be of two types. For instance, one can be obvious things like beaucoup, a lot, un peu, a little, or things are maybe a little more difficult to figure out. For instance, when you see un verre de, a glass of, that is a quantity too. All right? I've given you some senses here. Je bois du lait. Okay, I've got the partitive. I drink some milk. In the negative, you know, je ne bois pas de lait, because it's a negative construction. Yeah? For instance, here now, je bois un peu de lait. I drink a little milk. So see, with a quantity, you use de and nothing else. The same thing that you would do in English. I drink a little glass of milk, for instance. And if you had a negative construction along with a quantity, see, ne, pas, with a quantity beaucoup, the same thing would happen. You would use de instead of du or de la. All right? Negations. Negations we've used to change the meaning of a sentence. Je regarde, I watch. Je ne regarde pas, I do not watch. Ne is common to all the negations in French. Pas is the more common one of them, and it comes after the conjugated verb. Ne in front, pas after. Here's another case. We've got a construction here with the futur proche, the near future. Il va parler. He's going to speak. Well, this is the conjugated verb right here. So if I make this sentence negative, I will say il ne va pas parler. He is not going to speak. And you see the negation goes around the conjugated verb. All right? Now, if you want to use negations in a question, for instance, Sarah n'aime-t-elle pas le film? Doesn't Sarah like the film? Well, what happens here? The ne of the negation has become n apostrophe because it's followed by a vowel. Then I have that T that is there for pronunciation's sake, the subject pronoun, and then pas follows because that's the only place where you can put the pas. I cannot put it right after the verb here because when you have an inversion, the combination of the verb form and the subject pronoun, it's almost like something that is linked with a chain, and you cannot separate it. So you have to put the second part of the negation in the next available spot, which is usually after the subject pronoun.